Greetings, friend. I will show you how to instantly solve this Christmas Sudoku without using any pencil marks. I'll highlight the most important cells that if you focus on them, they will reduce your solve time the most. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. First thing you want to look at is right here in block 5. You notice how you have a 2 and a 7 here in row 5, and this 2 and 7 come down column 5. It only leaves 2 places for 2 and 7 in block 5, right there. That's called a hidden pair. What it means is the 2 and the 7 have to be somewhere here in block 5, but they're limited to 2 cells. So no other candidate can be there because we got to fit a 2 and we got to fit a 7 in block 5. I'm going to just give that a color to kind of remind you what's in those 2 cells. What this does for us is now you see this 3, 6 coming through the same column or same row here. And now they're going to be restricted to the same column. So this has got to be a 3 or 6. I said I was not going to use any markings. I just want to give you these colors to show you what we have here and what we can work with. And so in your mind, you want to think, okay, I got a 3, 6 right here, another hidden pair, which leaves a 1, 5, 9 in these 3 cells, right? Because we can't have the 2, 3, 7, 6, and you got the 4 and 8 right there. This is going to restrict what goes into the rest of row 5. You'll notice since an 8 can't be here, and it can't be here because of this 8, this cell has to be an 8. And the only other thing remaining is a 4. And we're just getting started. Discover more sweet solving like this with my members-only monthly reward puzzle packs. Click on the pinned comment below to join the Smarty Party now to get those. Now we can look at what these ones are doing. You got these 2 ones here. Means there's only 1 place left for a 1 in block 6. And that is going to allow us to place a 4 right here because you have the 4 in block 4, 4 in block 5, only place left for a 4. This is going to unleash the 3s. I love this part of the puzzle. You got these 2 3s right here, and there's a lot of 3s already given. So that means this cell now has to be a 3. And if you remember, the red was supposed to be a 3 and a 6. So we know this cell now has to be the 6, and that is the 3 for the red. But we're not done yet, because now we have these 2 3s and this 3 we can solve for 3 right here. And with these 2 3s we can solve for 3 right here in block 7. And with these 2 3s and these 2 3s we can solve for and the last remaining 3 in block 1. Yoshi Baroshi did not always make puzzles as easy as this. He initially tried to make them using the hardest strategy he could find on Sudoku Wiki, but eventually exchanged those harder strategies for a much smoother solve path. I want to thank you, Yoshi Baroshi, for being my Friday featured setter this month. And now we've made some more solves. What can we do? You got this 9 coming down, and we're going to focus here on block 6 because the 9 can't be in this cell. It has to be right here, which leaves us with a 2. You want to just kind of fill out the cells in the blocks that have the most cells filled out because that's creating a lot of restriction for you. You're going to get a lot of clumps of solving done that way. But this 2 does something else for us, right? You remember this was a 2 and a 7. So now we have the 2 right there. We know this has to be the 7 and that has to be your 2. So we can remove those colors. And so far, let me know how your solve is going. I want to hear about it in the comments. I answer every comment that people submit, and I'd love to hear from you. We want to focus here. We did a lot of great solving. Let's get a new cell of interest. Let's go down here. We're going to look at this cell right here. How can we solve this cell? Well, let's see what can get us to that point. First of all, we want to look across here. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. We need a 6, 7, and 9 to finish row 4. Well, I have a 7 and 9 right there, so this has got to be a 6. That's a naked single. Those are usually pretty hard to find, but once you get one of those, it's going to create some more solves for you. You got these 2s, because we were able to solve the 2 and 7 in columns 4 and 5. Only 1 place left for 2 right there in block 8. So we're going to add some more restriction down here that help us get to this green cell. And now with this 2 and this 2, we can solve for a 2 here in block 7. See how we're building our case here? And now with this 4 and this 4, there's only 1 place for a 4 in block 8. And we solve that. Let's start focusing on the 7s. You got these 2 7s and this 7. means we can solve for a 7 right there. Great. And with these two 7s, we can solve for a 7 right there. And with these two 7s and this 7, we have two places to put a 7 there. One of them is the green cell and one is not. I wonder if we can do better than that. And the answer is yes. Let's get some more solves here. We got these two 6s. One place left for a 6, and block 2 is right there. And with this 6 cutting across and this 6, we can solve for a 6 right there in block 3. And now, let's see, this 7 coming down and this 7 coming down. Like I told you, there's two places for a 7. This 7 cutting across and this 7 coming down restricts the 7s to these two spots right here. I'm going to color that to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Since the 7's got to be in one of these spots, and they're in the same row, this acts as a pointing pair. It means a 7 can't be anywhere else along row 9. Because if it was, like over here, then you'd have no place to put a 7 in block 7. And so since we know we have a pointing pair right here, a 7 can't be here anymore. And with these two 7s and this 7, we can now solve our green cell for a 7. Hopefully you saw that. We're going to remove that green cell, but we're not done yet because we know one of these two cells has to be a 7. Let's try to figure out which one it is. Okay, we have these 2s and this 2. Now we can solve for 2 right here because we put that 7 there. And then we're going to be able to do some more solving with these 2s. These 2s and these 2s, we can solve for 2 here. And with these 2s and these 2s, we can solve for 2 right there. Now we want to look here. We need a 1, 4, and a 6 in column 9. Well, I got a 1 and 6 here. This is a naked single 4. If you can find these naked singles, it will improve your solve time dramatically. And so we're able to find that 4. How's that going to help us now? Because now with that 4 and this 4 and the 4 right here, we can solve for 4 in block 9. And now let's look more at the 6s. These two 6s and this 6 we can solve right here for a 6. And now with the 6 coming down and this 6, hey, we can solve for a 6 right there. So that takes one of those spots for our red. And we know one of these had to be a 7. So now we can solve it certain these other red cell for a 7. Learn more about the possible ways you can solve individual cells in this tutorial. Now let's use the greater restrictions provided by these high number of solved cells to keep our momentum going. We got this 6 and this 6, and the 6 right here means this is a 6 as soon as I get out of color mode. We'll solve that for a 6, solve that for a 1. We're looking for a 1, a 5 right here. So that's got to be your 5, that's got to be your 1. And these two 1s and this one, I'm just going to do some cross hatching and we can solve this cell for a 1. I'm using a lot of restrictions that are already provided by the cells here that have been solved. This is looks like a 5 or an 8. I just solved the 5 right there, so that's got to be your 5, and that's got to be your 8. This has got to be a 7, 9 to finish block 4. I got my 7 right there. So here's your 7, and here is your 9. Now I see a nice full house right there. We know we can solve this with certainty because the other 8 cells are filled out. That's got to be a 4. And then with this 4, you want to go right back to that cross hatching, and we can solve this cell for a 4. And then you see we got another full house right here. That's got to be an 8. Awesome. And we're missing a 5 and 8 here. I'm going to pull this 8 over and go, that's got to be your 5, and this has got to be the 8 now. And I got another full house. So this has got to be your 5 right there. And with this 8, I'm pulling it on over. That's your 8, and that's your 9 to finish block 9. And now with these two 9s, I know I can solve for 9 here. Much quicker to look for these two cells than it is to look all the way over here for the full house. I only do the full house if I don't quickly see a way to fill the solve out. All right, right here we got a 5, full house there. Remember, this was a 1, 5, 9. I just filled out a 5 and a 9. I know that's got to be a 1. I don't see a 1 in block 8, so I'm going to pull that down. I don't see an 8, so that's got to be the 8 right there. And now with these two 1s and this one, I can solve for a 1 here. Awesome. And you're going to look and go, okay, I need the 5, 9, which I don't have yet. I need, looks like a 5, 9 here, and I need a 5, 9 here. This cell is going to do my right angle solve, I call it, because this 5 means that's a 9, that's a 5, that's a 9. Makes a nice little right angle, which is going to give us the 9 and 5 to finish block 5. Don't see a 5 in block 2, so we're going to pull that up from block 5, and our last digit is an 8. This next video contains at least one no-mark solving trick that I didn't get to show you here. I wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I thank you so much for watching.